question is, how many own less than 3 pets?
I would say probably from the beginning, like once you start doing this, you realize like how crucial it is that every minute count, because it's a lot that you're trying to teach them in a short period of time, and a lot of things you're trying to manage.
Okay, let's be real. Most of our teachers work probably over 10 hours a day, and then sometimes beyond that. I think if there are pressures, I think that a lot of it is they put pressure on themselves because they care a lot and they want to do well. They want to do well and they want to do well by their kids.
I started to miss everyone in school and I missed them a lot. So right when we came back to school, I was pretty happy to see them back again. It's better to have them in person because the screen is too small and I want it to be like actually in person and bigger.
I had to pass second grade in the computer, and then we came back in first grade. It was like we had to wear masks and we had to be 6 feet away. It was horrible. You couldn't hug anyone, you couldn't be close to your friends, and some people had to stay home because they got COVID or they were just sick.
I didn't expect anything different because I thought because of last year they had that full year back in being in school, so I didn't think anything was going to be different. However, this group of kids, it was hard. A lot of emotional things that we had to work on because these kids were in kindergarten half the year at school and then kindergarten half the year virtual. That year that they were in full virtual was first grade, and so they're missing a lot of those social interactions, and they're talking to a screen. Like if they're angry, they can just yell in their room and be upset versus being upset in front of a kid to see that emotion come out and seeing how someone is affected by the words you said. It's been a lot, repetitiveness, but they've gotten so much better, and that's just getting them to be more empathetic and taking those moments and learning from them. Like sometimes I stop academics to focus on the social emotional piece. That's a lot part of teaching. It's more of like being a therapist than sometimes a teacher.
This is the first year that I feel like we're back into some kind of groove. The contact tracing last year and having to call families and saying two different things, saying we really need them to be here because attendance is important, but then we were also like, no, they can't come right now. And so I was happy to see that kind of subsided and we were able to focus on what we could control. I feel good about that yes, our attendance has improved and we're at 8% and we're almost in May, and last year we were at 34%. So that's huge, that's a huge drop.
We've done a lot of work with students, getting them out of the pandemic. We want to do the same with our teachers, and knowing that a novice teacher has a new definition post-pandemic than it did pre-pandemic. The first 3 years of some of these teachers have been virtual or online and very interrupted, so we kind of think of a novice teacher as 4 years or less. I think teaching's a hard profession. It's been hard when I started 14 years ago, it just looked different. You can be upset as a teacher. You don't have to put on that happy face 24/7 like I did 14 years ago. And that people are here to help. So if you need a break, there's 10 of us that can give you one. Save my number, save her number, save his number, and we're all coming together to make sure that you have what you need, the students have what they need as well.
This is the week. Don't need to be nervous. This is SOLs, which means show our learning. That's all it means. Continue to do.
We expect them to do well on their standards of learning tests. Some of the kids, of course, third graders are the first ones who, first year that they actually get to take it. So they were all nervous. It's like, don't worry about it. Just show your thinking. Just do your best. Our teachers are fabulous. They've been working hard. Our kids have been working hard. So again, it's just approach it as, hey, it's a matter of just showing our learning.
Whenever we go to morning meeting, we learn something new, and I love learning something new. It makes me so interested about it. And every new week, we learn about something else. When we finish that, when we finish the thing already, we learn to another subject.
In math, we're learning the perimeter and area, and we're also having math in the morning instead of writing. And we've been reading passages in reading and answering questions about it, because we're almost having our math SOL and reading SOL.
This year, I'm pretty impressed. They're pretty high. I have some high readers. They're much higher than I have ever seen in my 6 years. We do have strivers, and strivers are kids that are not meeting the grade level reading. But it does make it difficult when you have a huge gap, like how to meet everyone where they are.
I think we do see a wider range right now. That's probably in part to, what else they have going on, what other stressors they have at home, what enrichment they have at home. We have an instructional assistant who's working with some kids that need additional support. Where you're really making gains is when you're pulling kids back and, addressing specifically what they need to have addressed with them. Mostly what we're emphasizing with them is, you're ready for this. We've taught you what you need to know. Take your time and do your best, and that's good. And most of them are actually pretty excited to take it. So that alone, I think, is a big accomplishment, because it's a big thing, It's a long test for them, I'm probably more nervous than they are, so.
Oh, you did? What did you do? Wow, what did you do?
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.